My name's Tim. Here's my audience. Did you know that if you have a complete severing or there's no blood flow, for example, if you have an injury, your limbs can survive up to 6 hours after losing its complete blood supply? The purpose of today is to demonstrate how to control bleeding so that you don't lose a limb or you don't lose life using direct pressure and a tourniquet. Successful or immediate intervention of bleeding control following a traumatic injury increases the survivability up to 90%. I'm Specialist Enos. I'm a combat medic. I've been a combat medic for 7 years, and every 2 years we requalify and recertify on this exact technique, how to control bleeding and prevent death of soldiers. So, what we're going to be talking about is how direct pressure controls dark red flowing venous bleeding by promoting the body's natural clotting process, and how proper application of a tourniquet will control bright red arterial bleeding by essentially squeezing all the tissues together. So, if you see bleeding, so go, if you come up here, if you see bleeding right off the rib and it's dark red in nature, you're going to use what's called direct pressure. So if there's dark red bleeding here, there's say a hole, you got a laceration, you'll go ahead and take your palm of your hand, put it down right over the wound like this, grab with your other hand, you're going to take over here and hold direct pressure for 3 minutes. What this does is it helps promote the clotting, the natural process of the body clotting. So if you have a pressure bandage on you, which is typically in first aid kits, you take this out, following 3 minutes of holding, you're going to use this white part right here, and it's going to go face down on the wound, like this. And then you're going to wrap tight. Pull, go around once, around the top, just to seal the edges off. Like this. Pull tightly, down the middle we can. And then toward the end of this wrapping, there will be 2 hooks right here. A hook on the edge of the bandage like this. Be nice and taut. You'll know that there's no more bleeding if the bandage doesn't get soaked. So that is one way to use direct pressure with both your hands and with the actual bandage. If the bleeding doesn't stop, or if it's bright red and spurting in nature, it's an arterial bleed. What you'll do is you have a tourniquet on you. You'll extend the tourniquet like so, and arteries run on the medial portion of the body. They'll run to the inside and down like this. They cross over in the groin. If you have a leg injury, it'll be on the inside right here. So, because he has an injury here, we go on the inside right here. There's a black plastic flat piece right here. You put the tourniquet over the arm and put this plastic piece against the artery. Essentially, what you're doing is you're squeezing all the blood vessels closed, like you would if you had a hose without a head, and you're trying to shut the hose on, like you've done the hose. So this part's called a windlass. The windlass you turn clockwise, and you would twist it until there's significant resistance felt, or you cannot go anymore. And you would lock it in between these 2 plastic pieces here. You'll know that you have a successful tourniquet if the bleeding stops, or if you cannot fit 2 fingers underneath the tourniquet. Then you must secure the strap so that the tourniquet doesn't come loose, and the last piece would be right here. If you have a pen, you'd go ahead and write the time. So, I just showed you in person how to do direct pressure to stop a venous bleed and tourniquet to stop arterial bleed. In review, again, in closing, I used a direct pressure with bandage. We use this when there's a slow, dark red venous bleed. And what that does is it promotes the natural process of the body for clotting. And we use a tourniquet when there's bright red arterial bleed. And what you're doing is using the tourniquet, you're squeezing all the blood vessels together to essentially stop it like you have a crooked hose. You don't need to be a paramedic to save lives. Just through the simple demonstration, if you have these items on you, you can use them and you can enhance survivability to 90%. Thank you for coming to my demonstration. That's